yes. Everybody should be seeing your screen. And so what Chad has done is he just took basically one of our templates, and as you can see, the order, the food order one. So he's just done that, and what he's done already is he's gone into the burgers, and he's just put it a price at like about 10 cents. So just so when we do run a charge on it, I'm not paying $15 for a burger. So that's what he's done right there. So Chad, go ahead.
Right. This is you can see this is in the actual site. What you would do is you would set all your prices in the food ordering widget. And then essentially you would go to options and then the e-commerce in the options. And when you go to e-commerce, you'll see this button will be switched to off. So you have to turn e-commerce on, and then here's all your options here. You would set where your emails, what email your orders go to, the currency that you would use, and then you can input your PayPal and your Stripe information.
Okay, now so when you basically have an email order in, so that's like the business would now, once an order has been placed, that business would now get the email saying, hey, you've got an order that came in. And then Chad, if you will, touch on the e-commerce currency, if you just hit the drop down.
Yeah, we got all kinds of
so you see there, and eventually I'm sure as needed, we will add more. And as you'll also see, there's different languages in there, which our goal is to be in those languages too. I will take care of the Canadian version.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now we're at the PayPal. So now you want to add your, because obviously when you first start with this, your Stripe will be blank and your PayPal will be blank. And yes, we'll be adding more payment options later. And then once we have a retail side of the site, we'll actually then have a merchant account for credit cards. So go ahead with the PayPal. Chad, I have a question coming in.
Yeah.
In here. Can add Square. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we definitely kind of have to add Square later on for sure. Good question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I exited those PayPal, and it's a pretty simple matter. What you do is you would see the link down here. This will take you right to the developer and the dashboard for PayPal. When you click that, this will kind of give you some basic instructions.
Okay, wait just a second, because Chad's already logged in. So you can see over in the top right, it'll say David.
You would be logged out normally.
Yeah, so he's just already logged in. So that's the first step you would have done, is obviously logged into your PayPal account, which PayPal clearly would have said log in.
Right. Yeah. What you would do is you'd click here. It would say log in. Once you did log in, it would take you to your dashboard. Would be the first thing, and then your API apps. The REST API apps is what it's called, and that's the section that you would use. It's a pretty simple section. You can see we've already tested some, but all you would really do is create an app, give it a name, and then you would link it to one of your business accounts, and then just create the app.
Okay.
And then that'll give you your details right down here, the client ID and the secret, which you would then copy over into PayPal.
Okay, and then if you would go back for 1 second. And as you'll also see over there at the very top where it says e-commerce test, it says sandbox, it says live. You'll then have to click it to live.
Yeah, in order to actually process payments. Yeah.
Yes, and then that should be it. Go ahead.
We can still test it with the sandbox to make sure you get the emails and everything else, correct?
Correct. But you just won't be able to take a payment. It kind of like pops up as just pops up and then goes away, was what we found.
Yeah, it's just a test.
Yeah, so that's why what we've done with ours is just put it, like 10 cents, just something to see what it happens, and it works fine. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's when you get to play with that food ordering system, and then for me, when I'm playing with it, look at it, go, I can't believe he created this thing. It's so nifty. It's just such a cool little tool for those little mom and pop kind of stores. So.
Right.
And that's your e-commerce. So that's the PayPal. So that's how you would set up your e-commerce. So any place where you have something that you have to set up e-commerce, that's exactly how you do it. And then you would do the same thing, Chad, if you would like to go over Stripe a little bit. So Stripe would be the same kind of thing.
Stripe's pretty simple too. You'd click the link at the bottom. That would take you to your dashboard. Then you would log in. Obviously, you'd log in at the top. Once you're logged in, you'll see your API keys right here. This one's even easier. You would just copy your publishable key, click the button to reveal the secret key, and then copy them both over.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your e-commerce.
and you can add shipping, taxes, different types of food order pickups like pickup, dine-in, curbside.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if Chad, if you would just go over a little bit of that, the food ordering system, since we have it up right now.
Yeah, so if you have like a restaurant with multiple types of options, you know, like if you have an actual tables inside the restaurant, or you're a pizza place that does deliver, you can ask for the different order types, and you can let them choose whether they want to dine in, or you can let them, you know, delivery, and you can charge a delivery cost, you know, because there's usually a minimum fee for a delivery and a cost extra on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way people won't just get delivery for a dollar item. And then you can enter locations that you would.
Right. Now, a great thing about the locations is, say you have a store that has multiple locations, but you can put in multiple locations in there, and then the person would have the option of choosing where you actually want to pick up the order.
Right.
The order would go to that location, though, correct?
Correct.
Although, would that be via email to that location, or?
Yes. Yes.
Because I had just noticed that there was just one email delivery.
Yes, it would go to whatever the email is set up in the system is where that email will go to. Granted, if you, as you see right there, if I go to email, if I wanted to make another email in there, I could put another email and would go to multiple.
Yeah, it says you can add more than one email separated by comma.
Mm-hmm.
So they would all receive the same email, though.
They would.
So with multiple sites, how would you delineate that? In other words, you have, say, 5 locations.
Well, the actual, let me look in that. What I'm going to do for that one is, that's a good question. Let me wrap my brain around it. We'll put a couple of different maps in here, and then run it through, and then I'll get back with you, and I'll put it in the system in there of how, because I can't quite remember, but I know it'll dictate one over the other, because that is a good question. But yeah, I will get that one answered for you guys, and I'll have that one in Skype.
Okay. Yeah, I would just think that when you have multiple locations, you would also be able to tag it to that email.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have something like that, because I just can't remember exactly what it is right now. So, like I said, I will, as soon as this thing is done, I got to do my autoresponder, but I'll also just do the burger now and quick, and have that up too as well.
This is primarily for small little mom and pop shops.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah. Like our whole thing. Now, granted, Silvio, and once somebody gets like really CSS and know all that kind of stuff, you could rival any WordPress site with what we've done. With what Silvio's done. Now, for the average person, I mean, we're going after your GoDaddy, your Wix, your Doodah, your eventually, you know, your funnels, all those kind of things. We're going to be a modern solution. Heck, are we going to go and do an account where we build this $100,000, $50,000 website? Probably not. But however, I have been approached before with a company, and I asked Sylvia, I go, this company has something that they had over 100,000 SKUs that they wanted on a site. I said, Silvio, I go, this is a big company, make over $100 million a year. I go, can we do this? He goes, oh yeah, it's just data entry. I'm like, holy cow. So the stuff that we can do is absolutely phenomenal. But yes, it's mostly geared towards your average business owner, your average person that doesn't want to spend $10,000 for a website.
Yeah, my little bitty sushi shop up on the corner or something like that. Okay.
But let's just say this. Let's say somebody landed a monster account, somebody who wants a website that could cost $50,000, but you don't have the skill to do it. Well, we do. So we could actually tackle on that project and make a $50,000 website, sell it to you at half price, and then you just go ahead and mark it up 50%. So you have with us on your side, there's pretty much not much you won't be able to do. So, but anyway, what's it? So I have a question here. Yes, so we want the average host to pick our system over Wix and do it themselves. Yes. Also, if you've ever started to notice certain things, like if you went into Fiverr, for example, Fiverr's chock full of people that will go into your Doodah account or your Wix account mostly, and they will build a website for you at a price. So I can see that happening with us too as well. not necessarily Fiverr, but as we've mentioned before, we will have people that will come in that will say, hey, we want some websites built, and I don't have the time to do it. Well, we're going to eventually have that done for your system. Well, we'll build the websites for you, and all you are is just basically the wholesaler drumming up business and then having somebody build the sites for you while you're out there just profiting. Right. So Alan said a 5-page widget starts at $250 to start. So exactly. So we're going to go off of those kind of business models. We've explored them all immensely, and that's kind of what we're going to do. But what you'll be able to do, as we know, is offer them more for the same price, which is always the best way to sell anything, right?
Right.
And then will this integrate with the Facebook tab so you can have sales from Facebook? Yes, it will. So when you have a Facebook tab set up, it's your mini site, if you will, and you'll be able to do everything from that. And then eventually when we have our chat bot, which everybody that's been a beta tester will get our chat bot for free when we determine to let that out. Well, now you can do everything. I mean, you could have a website that could actually sell for you in your sleep, like literally in your sleep. That's what chatbots will do. And then you combine that with our system and you could wake up to sales with whatever you're selling. So great questions. Okay. And also too, keep in mind, as we know, your wicks, your doodah and everything, there's not much else they can do. They can add more bells and whistles on it, but they're never going to be doing it the way that we're doing it. And so our upgrades are always going to be constant and getting better and better. So is there anything else on this one, Chad, that you needed to kind of go through?
Not necessarily, unless you want to maybe show off the stripe or something, or maybe add something to the cart.
Yeah, do that one. And also to click, if you go up a little bit, not there yet, if you go up to show the voices and user invoices, click on that one. View orders.
Oh, this one, view orders invoices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all the stuff I've,
Yep.
Silvio's even added some stuff to test it. You can see earlier today. Yeah, this is pretty much all the orders that have pretty much been clicked to purchase, but not even paid necessarily. This is just everything.
Yep. So
this is
perfect way to track all your business too as well. So excellent. Okay, now just go over to the site and run something through.
I have a quick question on what we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
The unpaid invoices. Is that going to be set up to where we can click and send off an email to that email address and say, I noticed you did this. I haven't seen your payment or whatever, you know.
Like a drop cart kind of thing.
Yeah, and then we could follow up with them just from inside the area instead of having to go to an email and copy this and do that, and maybe have some general response emails that we could just click on that would link up to whatever's inside this form.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I'll look into that one too. I like that idea. That makes it easy.
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and granted too, when you see that right there, you got the customer's email right there. So, but yeah, I'm writing all this stuff down. So perfect.
Right, and then what we did is I just made this little simple burger for 10 cents, and then you can do the toppings, right? Yes, the little toppings, you can add different prices to them. This one's only 20 cents or $1 extra for cheese. You know, it's testing out the mozzarella as well. And then you can also do, when you're building using the food ordering app, you can actually have some toppings that are automatically included. Or, you know, those ones were not included and you had to choose whether or not. But it's a pretty simple matter. Once it's in the cart, you can just go to checkout, and then because we've linked both of them, you can see the payment options.
Right.
If we didn't have Stripe, this button wouldn't even appear, or, you know, if we didn't have PayPal typed in there, this wouldn't appear at all. So the customer would just simply type in their information, and then if they were to click Stripe, you proceed with payment. They can enter their email address here for their receipt, their card number, and it would charge them 31 cents to their card, and it would say confirmed, and then you would get an email at whatever e-commerce to this email orders to. You would get one there. They would get one on their end, and then it would process through Stripe.
Yeah. Simple.
You can even do pay in person as well. If they click that button, it'll say, awesome, thank you for your order. And then when they click OK, then you'll get an email for here, wherever the emails go to, saying that it's unpaid and that they're going to come into the store and pay in person. And they would get an email on their end.
I didn't notice. Was there a field for their phone number?
Yeah, here, let me go to add to cart, and
You get to determine what you want to put in there. So you determine what you want to ask from the person. Just like everything else with us, it's like you set what you want from them.
yeah, if you check out, there's a phone number option.
Yeah, we put
Notes.
that. So yeah. So awesome. Nifty little tool that Silvio basically created from scratch.
Yeah, it works pretty well. And then
That's about it.
we're going to add more payment options later, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's about it for the food ordering. Is there any questions? We'll do an e-commerce one in the next one, but you'll notice one of the next ones, you'll notice e-commerce is going to be the exact same thing that we pretty much just did right then. But okay, so stay right there for a second, Chad.
Yeah, this is the food ordering app.
Okay, so he's now obviously in the widget itself. And so food ordering options, this is obviously where you would go in and you would specify the price. You can go to the max quantity, what you want there. Available toppings, you can put it in there. You determine available and not included, and that you have in there. And then Chad, if you want to go over, remember the little training or little help tip, we will. So you don't want
the prices. Yeah, we learned the hard way that there was a little glitch. If you have a space in between the plus sign, like if you wanted to add extra price to a topping, like the onions and cheese, you wanted extra, it shows an example down here. You would add this symbol. I'm not sure what that's called, but it's right next to, it's the slash if you were to hold shift, and then a plus sign, and then a number. Like if you do 0.10, it would add an extra 10 cents. But we found that if you put a space between the plus sign, it'll show up as 0. So it won't register properly, and that's a bug we're going to fix right away. But if you were to look down and see, it shows I think Sylvia might have actually fixed that then.
He said he was working on it.
Yeah, but earlier if you would put a space, it would show 00, but it would still add 10 cents if you were to click onions. But I think Sylvia fixed that this morning.
Yeah, he fixes it on the fly.
Yeah, but yeah, so I guess we don't have to worry about that bug anymore. But yeah, we're still testing out our PayPal. I don't think we've actually we did process a Stripe payment, but we're still going to do
working. We've done them all.
Oh, we have? Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Test them all.
Yeah, okay. Then everything should be working, and then it should be a simple matter of just any business that owns any restaurant can easily make a website and take orders right from this platform.
Right. And then for your what we showed you for PayPal and Stripe, so like I said, that's for all your e-commerce. So if anybody wants to go ahead and test that, let us know if it works. If you want to put something in the group chat, a site, and I'll go in and I will make a test purchase, just make it around 10 cents, and then we'll see if it works. And you can so anybody who puts a site in there over the next couple of days, that's an e-commerce, just let us know, so we can go in and test them all, and I'll go in and test each and everybody's site. So you'll get a response back from me, making sure that everything works. I'll be everybody's customer.
You'll get a lot of food.
I am hungry.
I would presume that under each food, you would have food categories which would be created by additional widgets for each category, i.e. appetizers, dessert, so on and so.
And add that.
Yeah, you can you would basically do different widgets. Yeah, you'd have the one food ordering widget, and these are the list items for that widget. And then if you wanted to, you would create a second, probably a second widget. Maybe
so it
put
would be
something
the
in
title.
between it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it would have a whole new title, put something in between it.
Right.
Yeah, or something, and then you would be able to separate categories that way, or you could put them on different pages altogether.
But can you make those categories expandable and collapsible?
Yes, we can.
One stream.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What we'll do is we'll also do, and when for food ordering, real estate, some of those ones, those are going to be in our advanced template club. So you guys will all have that too as well. So. but yeah, you can do all that. You can do it where you click on it, it opens up in kind of a pop-up. If that's what you're referring to.
But just more of a drop down, similar to your different
Yeah.
options within the widget itself,
Mm-hmm.
how it expands and closes.
Yeah, you have that options, and then again, play around if there's something in there that you like. Hey, we wish it did this. Obviously, let us know because we'll do it. Pretty much, we'll do it.
Right. Yeah, it's still a lot of stuff we can do and a lot of ways to improve as well.
But there you go. And then, so as you see now, where's Chaz gotten to? He's gotten to a spot that eventually you start going and seeing that, okay, the rest of it, it looks a lot like our other widgets.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same after a while, and
Mm-hmm.
then you recognize how it all works.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Is there any other questions for us at this time? Because I know we always like to keep these things short. Excellent. All righty. So any of the, like we said earlier, any user face, any kind of thing that we can come up with today, over hopefully today, but over at least the next couple of days. But we are meeting with Dinesh tomorrow. So any kind of feedback on what, not actually building the site so much, but how you want it to look. Again, so if I was to hover on any one little thing, do I want it to pop up? What do I want to happen? How will you be able to go from logging in to your first site, and how would you like that to look? So that's about it. Go ahead.
That would be a one-time, first time only logging in.
Yeah, basically that. So what we've been thinking of, so we have the tutorials already, right? What we've been thinking about is something you've already hinted on it before is, all right, so I first get on, we have a little kind of a hover that would pop up and say, oh, what is that? All right, now I go and I download my templates, okay? And then as soon as you're done that, I've already completed that step. Step 2 would be the next step, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's like, okay, you're now ready to start building your sites. I think it'd be pretty hard if we were, and again, we're asking really, but if I had hovers and pop-ups over every single thing in here, I think that would probably be a little bit ugly and overwhelming.
Exactly.
I think once we're really focusing, once we get you into the site maker, we need to get you to a part where you're now building a site and we have the tutorials then kind of take over.
Right.
So do we like it looking this way? Would we like the phone bigger? Would we like a different, I know somebody's mentioned about the phone not having a home button. What would we like the phone to be? And I know we've Sylvia's brought up, hey, we may have a couple of different options. Is it a Samsung? Is it an Android? What would you like to look at? Again, we have green going in the background. Would you like green? I know that green right now is kind of shading out some of the buttons, but we could easily change the font on that. That's simple. Do we want it bigger on the left-hand side, smaller on the left-hand side, over where it says mobile, desktop, and sites? So when you first go on and you see where all the blocks are there, do we like it like that? Or again, just visually, and how do we make this more user-friendly?
Yeah, floatable would be nice if you have multiple screens.
I'm sorry?
Floatable would be nice on the mobile if you had multiple screens.
You say foldable?
Yeah, floatable, so you could slide it over to your second screen.
Oh, floatable. I'm sure he'll probably have like a little button where you just go boom and you switch from one to the other.
No, just the mobile phone itself.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just the mobile phone. Seeing how I actually like when he brought up, because again, that's what he has a tendency of doing. When you bring up an idea, it usually sparks multiple ideas for him. So when somebody brought up, hey, the iPhone shouldn't have the home button anymore, he goes, well, maybe we could also add another phone option in there. Maybe we could have multiple ones. It's like, okay, perfect.
Another thing that would be good is the ability, especially if I'm not mistaken, on the reseller site, to allow us to change the colors.
You can.
For everything inside the site? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Because I know if I get a customer, I may not like green. I may like blue or orange or something like that.
Well, keep it in mind, once you change the color, that's the color for everybody that's in your system. So if you start going blue one day, orange the next day, now you're starting to get away from, you know, your brand of consistency by changing the color every time.
Oh no, I would change it for my color scheme only for my members,
Yes.
and it would always be consistent.
Yeah, like say what you're seeing right now is basically the reseller version. What everybody's looking at right now is mine, which is full admin access. So over on the left-hand side, users, plans, manage help section.